Hello students, welcome to this video lecture. In this video lecture, we will study Unit 3 of Recruitment and Selection subject. In this unit, we will understand the following below mentioned concepts. The first very important concept, hiring internally. So why do organizations prefer to hire internally? So we will understand the meaning and different types of internal hiring methods. Then the second would be sources of internal recruitment. So here we will understand the various sources available for an organization to go for internal recruitment, and we will even try to understand when this internal recruitment will be done in any organization. Then we will even understand the policy guidelines and union settlements. Well, now first we'll understand hiring internally. So internal recruitment provides opportunities for better deployment and utilization of existing human resources, filling vacancies in the organization from within the existing pool of candidates. Many organizations have recognized that careful management of their existing employee base may be cost-effective way to fill upper-level managerial and professional vacancies. The business may choose to take this course of action, as managers may believe that they already have employees working for the organization with the right skills for the job. Those employees will already have adopted the ways in which the business operates and may have already undergone training and development programs. Internal recruitment provides opportunities for better deployment and utilization of existing human resources. For internal recruitment to work, organizations need to be very active, that is proactive, and incorporate strategic planning into their human resources practices. Organizations need to track the key knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics needed for the various jobs within the organization. Employees who possess those needed skills, whether they are administrative, managerial, or technological, should be identified. Human resource management departments and department managers should work together and make workforce projections based on the present level of employee skills. So what we will come to know by the concept hiring internally, the hiring process happens within the organization. So that process is called hiring internally. Now, after understanding the disadvantages, the internal hiring internally, now parameters like cost, advantages of suitable recruitment, we will even understand some of the disadvantages of internal recruitment. When we take the first point as cost, you consider the cost of recruiting internal employees will be having advantages as well as disadvantages. But it is the enterprise does not incur any expenditures or informing and induce employees whether to apply internal hiring or whether to go for external hiring. Okay? So it depends on that situation outside the organization. That particular domain to advertise not to extend some of the disadvantages. The human resources comes to the cost more the job. Internal recruitment more, sometimes external recruitment can be more opening cost company. Intranet, I'm repeating once again, intranet can be quite expensive. Connectivity which is within the, so for example, internal candidates are for recruiting job. External candidates not twice the cost of advertising or what you such as further develop your careers, newspapers, from the websites. The next time we will show the cost of the human resource, a major disadvantage of internal recruitment is candidates and the department internal recruitment not only fills vacancies but also creates them. Each time a vacancy is filled with advantage of vacancy internal recruitment will be taken by the candidate. As a result of this difference, it is incumbent on the qualified candidates to do a proper human resource recruiting candidates internally can decrease the time. This planning involves elimination of succession planning. This is particularly used very time consuming, tight job market, quality, and the number of parameter over the given job. Internal recruitment restricts extra options and freedom in such enterprise. Selecting the most qualified candidates for the candidates may be, it has a narrow base, efficient and time saving. The enterprise may have to compromise on the advantages, choice of candidates. Then suitability, the quality of candidates is still as the organization and employees are the person hired may not be as qualified as someone from the employee external organization. You have been learning culture of a guy or a girl who has got extra talent, and he will be knowing the culture because you are preferring an internal candidate. And obviously is blocking an external talent. So what happens? Right? Quality also improves. The quality of the candidates is good as the organization and its employees are familiar to each other. The organization knows the ability and skills of the likely candidates since they are within the organization, also called as insiders. Internal candidates are already familiar with the company's culture, policies and procedures. Then the fourth advantage of internal recruitment is suitability. The organization can pick the right candidates having the requisite skills. The candidates can choose a right vacancy where their talents can be fully utilized. So these were the advantages of internal recruitment. Please remember cost, time, quality and suitability. Now, after carefully analyzing the advantages and disadvantages of internal recruitment, we will now understand the various sources of internal recruitment. Now, so students, you have to understand the situation wherein in your organization the manager might go for internal recruitment. Now, which are the various sources available for internal recruitment? So, first could be an internal circulars, then employee referrals, then promotion, intranet advertisements, appointment, transfer and job posting. We will understand each parameter in detail now. First we will take circulars. Vacancies can be filled internally by the use of internal circulars. Internal circulars are confined to the employee working in particular department or open to all employees of the unit as per the conditions of eligibility. Internal circular is issued in such cases where the designation or post is not identical or the job content of the post is materially different. While considering candidates against internal circular, jumping of grades is avoided. The following procedure can be followed for filling up the vacancies through internal circular. The vacancies are circulated at the first instance within the departments or the group of departments. The second could be if the required number of suitable men are not found within the department units, the vacancies are then circulated within the division as the case may be. The third would be again if the requirement is not fulfilled, then the vacancies are circulated in the entire organization. Employees who have put in a minimum period of 1 year service in the next lower grade are eligible to apply against internal circular. However, where requirement of personnel is urgent, simultaneous action for recruitment through internal circulars and outside sources are considered or it will be taken. Now, what we are studying now, the sources of internal recruitment. We'll go for the second one, employee referrals. Now, it is again one of the most popular method when it comes to internal recruitment. Using of personal contacts to fill a job opportunity, is known as employee referral. It is a reference from an existing employee. Please remember this. It is a reference from an existing employee regarding a candidate, be it a friend or a close relative. It is considered to be it takes one to know one approach. A major problem with this method is that it encourages favoritism, that is, candidates of one's community or caste might be selected. who may or may not be suitable for a particular job. So informal communications among managers can lead to the discovery that the best candidate for a job is already working in a different part of the organization. Now, what could be the advantages of employee referrals? Cost saving, then time saving, then reduced recruitment work, then quality, morale. See, morale, it boosts the morale of existing employees also, right? The referrals benefit the company through the employment of skilled personnel. The new employee referred are usually scrutinized for eligibility by the referring employee. Then finally, the advantage of employee referrals would be diversity of candidates. Then as I mentioned earlier, that every method has got its own advantages and disadvantages. In the similar way, employee referrals also has got advantages and disadvantages. Now what could be the disadvantages? Like disadvantages of employee referrals: unpredictable speed factor, then homogeneous workforce. Then the third disadvantage could be tends to perpetuate belief system of current workforce. Then the fourth one could be problem in workforce trimming. Fifth one could be poor candidate recommendation. So because he happens to be his relative or his close friend, so he will recommend or he will refer him to a particular job. But he might not be having that skill what is required for that particular job. So what happens? It's a poor candidate recommendation. Then employee discontent. Then closed atmosphere. Then additional risk will be there for the organization. Then underrepresentation of protected groups. So these were some of the major disadvantages of employee referrals. Then third sources of internal recruitment, it is promotion. Now, how this promotion acts like an internal recruitment, we will understand that. Promoting an existing employee to the next level, right? So how we can do that, we will understand. Basically promotion, the word called as promotion. Promotion is a term which is very commonly used in every organization. When a person moves to a higher position because of his or her good performance in the organization, this movement from a lower to a higher level of position is called promotion. Promotion basically occurs when the internal employees are entitled to a higher post in the same organization and are selected for the same. Besides that, a company can also hire candidates externally for the vacancies available in the organization. Now, what is promotion? I'll once again repeat. It is a term which is commonly used in every organization when a person moves to a higher position because of his or her good performance. Now, what are the advantages of promotion? It rewards superior performance. That means a person who is consistently doing well in the organization, who is performing extremely good in the organization, it is a reward from him. He will be promoted to the next immediate level, or where the vacancy is there immediately in the organization in the next level. It reduces the training cost. It improves the morale of employees, promotes employees' growth, then it motivates others for career advancements and gives satisfaction to the existing employees. So, these are some of the advantages of promotion source. Now we'll even understand the disadvantages of promotion. Promotion disappoints some employees. So what happens is, in a group of employees, in a group of people who are working in the same team, if one guy or girl is promoted to the next level, then others in the team might feel disappointed. So if they feel disappointed, why they feel disappointed? Because they might be working in the same pace. They might be giving the same output. But, when one guy has been lifted to the next level, the others will be disappointed. So promotion disappoints some employees. Then some employees refuse the promotion also. So these are some of the major advantages and disadvantages of promotion. Then we will go for the fourth source of internal recruitment, that is called intranet advertisements. Now, as I mentioned, intranet, please understand the term intranet. That means intra means what? Within the organization. See, one of the E method used in internal recruitment would be the intranet advertisement, which is normally followed in almost all the organizations. That means it is consequently not surprising that many forward-looking businesses are finding ways of using intranet-based systems to speed up the recruitment process. Now, some of the intranet advertisement methods would be like advertising vacancies. Like organization can advertise current vacancies in a job section of its intranet, and depending on the nature of the vacancy and the recruitment policy for the job, it may also make this available publicly on its internet website. Okay. Then the second would be in intranet advertisements, providing search engines. Search engines are now standard technology that can easily be installed within an intranet. This makes it much easier for employees to find a particular type of a job. Then the third one would be links to previous employers and educational establishments. Checking the accuracy of a job applicant's claims regarding previous work experience and educational achievements, which is a time-consuming and somewhat tedious activity that nevertheless must be done. Email connections to and from intranet make it possible to streamline this process considerably. Next, we will study the next source of internal recruitment, that is appointment. As the name only suggests, when some decision is taken regarding selection of a candidate, it should be communicated to the successful candidate with the help of offer of employment before informing to those who are not successful. If the individual who is selected does not accept the offer, other most suitable candidate can be contacted for the job position. Offer of employment can be made official with the help of letter of appointment. Now, benefits of appointment would be different activities of the department can be fulfilled. Every employee will be motivated. Various legal difficulties resulted from the misunderstanding of the employees and employers can be overcome. Both the employer and potential employee will be having a clear understanding about the terms of the offer. The relationship between the employee and employer can be documented. Now, there are some problems that are associated with the appointment also. It could be employee expectations, job expectations or description, change in technology, changes in organizational structure, social and psychological factors, then nature of the job. So these are some of the problems associated with appointment. Then we will understand transfer. Now, when I use the word transfer means the movement of an employee from one department to other, or from one location to the other, or from one branch to another branch. So please understand, it can be movement of employee based on his expertise from one department to another department, or from one location to another location, or from one branch to another branch. Transfers may be given by the company or may be asked by the employees themselves depending upon the situation. It is a very common policy that is being followed by all the companies. Sometimes the transfer takes place with no changes in the pay scale or position, and sometimes it may prove out to be financially beneficial to the employee. Now, some of the advantages of transfer includes when an employee is transferred from one department to another, or he is given responsibilities of different jobs, he is able to gain advanced knowledge and various different skills that may prove to be beneficial for him. Transferring staff members is one of the best ways to improvise social interaction in an organization. When the employee work with coordination and cooperation, it results in smooth functioning of the organization, which further will result in rising organizational gains and improving organizational effectiveness. The problem that the company faces due to faulty placements can be corrected by transferring suitable and efficient employees to the respective departments. Even transfer helps the employees to overcome the tediousness of same job. They are performing things long time, so they are fully energized to take up the new work and assignments. They are able to acquire the new skills, which increases the chance of future promotion and growth. Some of the disadvantages of transfer students include: one of the major problems faced by the employees during a transfer is adaptability. Adaptability is a very, very important term, students. When moved to a new job, an employee has to adjust himself as per the place and environment. He even has to face criticism from the senior person and co-workers. Transfers cause a lot of trouble, not only to the employee, but also his family members. An employee may face the problem of housing adjustment, education of children when transferred from one place to another. There is a loss of time as well as money when employees are transferred from one place to another. Sometimes employees are not happy with their transfer, so they become careless and inefficient in their work. When transfers are based on discrimination, it diminishes the morale of the employee, leading to reduced job contentment, loyalty and devotion, and he becomes less productive. See, an example would be a XYZ employee is performing extremely good in a department. So seeing his performance, he will be transferred to the next department where he is required, but he might not be comfortable, adaptable with a new team. So what might happen is he might lose the interest, he might become inefficient, the productivity in the new department might reduce. So these are some of the disadvantages of transfer. Then the last source of internal recruitment would be job posting. It is an in-house method of recruitment in which notices of vacant jobs are posted at important places of the organization, such as employee lounges, cafeterias, elevators, etc. And employees are provided with a large amount of time to apply for the available jobs. Nowadays, job posting is being used as one of the most creative way of recruitment in organizations. Various organizations consider job posting as an inbuilt part of an effective career management system. Thus, it is considered to be the easiest and most commonly used method by employers to inform employees about the job openings. Some of the advantages of job posting. Job posting systems have many advantages. The method successfully addresses the court's concern that all eligible candidates be notified of vacant positions. It enhances the probability that the firm's most qualified employees will be considered for the job. Gives employees an opportunity to become more responsible for their own career development. Enables employees to leave a bad work situation. In the same way, it encourages their current supervisors to manage more effectively in order to discourage employees from jumping from one organization to another organization. And then we will understand the disadvantages of job posting also. The position may remain open for an extended period because it takes a long time to fill an opening in this way. The system may prevent supervisors from hiring the individuals of their choice. This circumstance can lead to a gamesmanship, supervisory maneuvers intended to beat the system. Some employees may hop from job to job. Hop means what? Jumping from one job to another job without any clear direction. Employees whose bids are rejected may become alienated from the organization. So these were some of the major sources of internal recruitment. I am repeating once again to all the students that each source has got its own advantage as well as disadvantage. So you have to decide based on the situation of the recruitment that which particular source is best feasible for that particular scenario. Appointment and promotion. Offer of employment can be made official with the help of letter of appointment. Promotion is a term which is very commonly used in every organization when a person moves to a higher position because of his or her good performance, consistent performance. This movement from a lower to a higher level of position is called promotion, as we discussed in the earlier slide. Policy guidelines and union settlements. A trade union or employee union is an organization that employees can join in order to have their interests and goals better represented. A worker will pay an annual subscription and in turn will have their interests more powerfully represented than if they had to negotiate with employers on their own. Trade unions are now considered a subsystem which seeks to serve the specific subgroup's interest and also considers itself a part of the organization in terms of the latest viability and contribution to the growth of the community of which it is a part. Therefore, there are trade unions of blue-collar workers, white-collar employees, and also employers. It is unlawful for a prospective employer to refuse to employ a person either because that person is or is not a member of a trade union or because he has refused to accept a requirement to become or remain a member of a particular union or any union. It is similarly unlawful for an employment agency to refuse to provide its services to people who are members of a trade union or to accept instructions from an employer not to supply job applicants who fall within either category. Employers refusing to employ someone or treating them unfairly because of trade union membership or participation in trade union activities or conversely because they refuse to join a trade union or issue trade union activities will be liable for discrimination. Now in the earlier slide, we understood the policy guidelines and union settlements. Now in this particular slide, we'll be studying about the features of closed shop agreement. Many of the main features of a closed shop agreement will have become apparent, but it may be useful to summarize the points that will need to be considered in drafting the union closed shop agreement. So these points will be identified: class, exemptions, obligation, policing the agreement, and changing and ending the agreement. We will understand each one of them in detail now. First we'll take identified class. The agreement must state as precisely as possible the grades intended to be intended to be covered. If in doubt, the area should be specified more narrowly, because if it is identified widely and the area of actual membership is shown to be narrower, the agreement may be ineffective for some purposes. The agreement can also be expressed so as to extend to persons other than employees. Exemptions. It requires that certain people must be exempted, but the agreement may widen or add these groups either by general definition or by specific reference. Obligation. The agreement should state that it is requirement for all members covered by the agreement to join certain unions and should specify which those unions are. The employer may also agree to make it a term of the contract of employment that a new employee will be required to join one of the relevant unions within a certain number of weeks of being employed. But the closed shop is effective even without such a term. Now, what is this closed shop agreement? A closed shop agreement requires all employees covered by the agreement to be the members of the union. No union which is partly to a closed shop agreement may refuse membership to an employee or expel an employee unless this is done in accordance with the union's constitution and the reason for the refusal or expulsion is fair. Then the fourth point would be policing the agreement. The agreement should establish procedures for ensuring that the closed shop is complied with. Because if it can be shown that a number of employees who should be the members are not, the agreement should establish procedures for ensuring that the closed shop is complied with. Because if it can be shown that a number of employees who should be the members are not, the agreement does not protect the employer from actions for unfair. Changing and ending the agreement. The last point would be changing and ending the agreement. The agreement should specify how long it is intended to last and the procedure for amending it in the meantime. So we have almost come to the end of this particular unit. So thank you so much for watching this video. Well, in this unit, that is unit 3 of recruitment and selection, we have understood the various concepts when it comes to internal recruitment. We first understood the meaning of internal recruitment. Then we even studied the advantages and disadvantages of internal recruitment in terms of cost, time, quality and suitability. Then after that, we studied the sources of internal recruitment. Then we understood each source, its advantages as well as disadvantages of various sources of internal recruitment. Then we even understood the concept related to policy guidelines and union settlements. Then we finally ended, that is understood the closed shop agreement, the meaning of that as well as the features of a closed shop agreement. Well, in this particular unit, you can expect questions related to internal recruitment like intranet advertisements or the benefits of transfer or something, discuss the advantages, disadvantages of complete internal recruitment in terms of cost, time, quality and suitability. Okay, so what are the influences of trade unions on recruitment? So these could be some of the possible questions. So please study thoroughly so that the concepts will be very strong. So thank you once again for watching this video.